If this would have been Jose, I'd have had a bread roll thrown at my head or something.
Do you know what I mean? I had Terry Butcher and Richard Gough. I mean, you did what you're told, effectively, you know? I need to be quite honest with you.
Our managers didn't want us being friends either, did they?
He came in the dressing room and said, "You lot won't win a game without Yaya Toure." Whether he did it on purpose or not, we don't know.
Welcome to The Breakdown. Today, something slightly different. We're going to take a look at the dynamics of a dressing room, how the leaders operate, how significant it is, how it can impact a team both positively and negatively, in the company of Ali McCoist, Joleon Lescott, Joe Cole and Owen Hargreaves. Were you guys in open dressing rooms?
Oh, yeah. A happy and an organised dressing room doesn't necessarily guarantee success, but it doesn't have help. Absolutely. And if you can get a dressing room, and the best dressing rooms is police themselves. You know, you've obviously got a captain, perhaps a vice captain, but you'll have half a dozen lads in there that know the score. And when somebody needs a word, they'll have a word. Vitally important, a good dressing room.
Do you think times have changed?
Yeah.
That we're all
100%.
significantly more knowledgeable of mental health and people's needs, and we understand situations
Yeah, of course.
as men better, I suppose.
It's more understandable to share and be vulnerable. Like you said, you couldn't be vulnerable. There was no room for that. It was just get on with it. There's no excuse. Just it's football and that happens. Whatever the reason is behind, whatever someone's going through, there was no. It wasn't given as a reason to be vulnerable. It was just get on with it.
Yeah. It was just the time. It's the culture of the time. I think sometimes in football, in the heat of battle, you need to be direct, and sometimes at the cost of somebody's feelings. You know, I'm
Short-term
thinking of
feelings.
a manager, for instance. You know, because I've been talking a lot about, you know, recently about my career, because releasing the book and all that, and a lot of people talk about Jose Mourinho. That wasn't a shameless plug there. Just slipped
Kind of
it in
was.
there.
Is this why I reach down and pick it up and show everybody?
Let me just get to my point, Fletch, before you do that, and then you can. But what I mean was, everyone, because writing the book, everyone was fascinated because he used to dig me out, and he used to dig me out in the media. I was okay with it. I liked the directness because I was in a mindset where there was nothing that was going to stop me playing for this Chelsea team. So directness in high-level sports, okay. But I think in society, in general, I think it's better that we're all being kind to each other. But long answer, it's brilliant that we're in where we are now with the mental health side of things. But sometimes in football, you just need that directness.
Different personalities as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
And people handle things in different ways. I always remember talking to Sir Alex and talking about coaching and management, and he would say, everybody tells you to treat everybody the same. He says, but you don't. He says, why should you? Because everybody's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, and he's so right. Some people need a kick up the backside, other people need a pat in the back. He said the part of coaching and management, you know, that's one of the things you have to look at is who needs what. Because not everybody needs the same thing. So I had the same with Graham Souness. So when Graham came to the club, you know, he was leaving me at the team. And then he signed Big Mark Hateley and Mo Johnson came. And I know he was testing me. And if I failed, I was away. I was out the door. And he'd have went, okay, that's fine. I'm doing this for the best of the team, but I'm also doing it for the best of me. And I look back now, and I've got a completely different outlook at how I look at it then than I do now. And I know for a fact, not only was he making the right decision for the team, but he's making the right decision for me.
Do different managers have different types of dressing rooms? I mean, I've never been in one, so I wouldn't know, but you're talking about Graham Souness. Was he the same as Walter Smith? Was Ferguson's dressing room the same as some of the other ones that you... Do different managers have different cultures within,
of course they do.
Within their own dressing rooms? How much does that change?
Of course they do. And my first one at Bayern Munich, up my hits for, he won the Champions League with two different teams. Right? He didn't shout once, ever. They were just calm. And I think, in a way, that kind of suited us. We didn't need to be shouted at. The boys were at the top. They knew how to deal with that. But I remember he gave me this piece of advice when I was coming through as a kid, and all the older boys were smashing me all over the place because they didn't want me to take their spot. And he pulled me aside one day and he said, "Oh, and the only way this works if they hate you. If they hate you, they respect you." And he said, "I can't help you anymore because I got to look after the older boys. I'm on their side, looking after the whole group. Keep doing what you're doing in your play." And that was probably one of the best pieces of coaching advice I ever got. So in that sense, yeah, everybody leads differently. When you're in charge and you're the leader, the teacher, the captain, whatever, you can lead this ship the way you want. I like that way he did. Sir Alex did it differently. Sven-Goran Eriksson did it differently. There's no right or wrong. The most important thing is that the team wins. And I think for the great ones, like Ali said, they got a finger on the pulse. They can feel it, what everybody needs.
See, he's plugging his book. I might as well plug my interview there.
Just on the book, by the way, £4.99, all the bargain bookstore.
I was speaking with Carlo Ancelotti. This house I'm throwing that in. He was amazing, man. Sat down with Dejo, brilliant. And I'm talking about relationship with players. I said, I'm talking about Italians, for example. I played with Gattuso, played against Di Canio. Yeah. I said, and you're the complete opposite, Carlo. You're a complete opposite. I said, so how do you handle, players and egos and all that stuff? And it was amazing. He said to me, well, the coach is two different people and the player's two different people. The player is a person first and then a footballer. The coach is a coach and a person. He said, so when I'm doing something for the team, the player needs to know that it's not the person that's leaving him out, it's the coach that's leaving the player out.
I love that.
Yeah. And it was beautifully put, and he said, and I need to get my players.
So simple.
Yeah. I need to get my players to accept it's not a person against a person, it's the coach doing what's best for the team with the player.
What I think comes with that is when you've built that relationship up with the individual, they're more susceptible to the criticism. And there's a story with Carlo and Rudiger when he first went there and he did all the press conference and everyone was there and he said he went home and then he got a knock on the door and it was Carlo Ancelotti to have come around and have dinner with his family, just no press, nothing.
I love that.
And it was like, he said that after that, I would have done anything for him.
Every manager should do that,
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
But you'd also know if some doing it, is it genuine?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And again, you only do that if you haven't been told to do that.
You couldn't argue with Carlo, could you?
No.
Like, come to us for dinner, telling you.
You ended up next to him, didn't you, on a Chelsea team, first night?
Yeah, first night, yeah. I arrived late and I was thinking, oh no, I'm in trouble here. And the Carlos was, and there was one seat next to the gaffer, and I ended up sat. I'm like, and I thought, thinking like, if this would have been Jose, I'd have had a bread roll thrown at my head or something. You know what I mean? But it was Carlo, and he was like, I said, boss, I'm so sorry. You know, problems, traffic. I was walking to the restaurant anyway, but I said the traffic. And he was like, and we had a couple of glasses of little shots of grappa. The meal was. What the point is, you were sitting with your new gaffer at a table, and I didn't have any of that anxiety of all, the wine was flowing. It was like, it was brilliant. And
warmth.
And I can when Ali was saying that, I'm like, I left Chelsea with Carlo, right? And it was like we won the double that year. I was out. I had my big knee injury the year before, so I was coming back in. I ended up playing 30, 40 games in the season. And ended up having an impact. I wasn't quite at my best, obviously that's why I left Chelsea. But so he left me out of games. I played the big games at the end of the season, but you're right that he had such a personal relationship with me. It always felt it was all business, and there was never any bad feeling.
Yeah.
And that's a real skill.
Yeah.
That's a real skill.
Talk to me about the leaders then, in the respective dressing rooms. I mean, it might have been you guys, I don't know. What were your positions within the dressing rooms you were in? Who were the people that you kind of leaned on? Who were the ones that were vocal, the impactful ones? Start with you, Ali. I mean,
I was lucky, man. In my dressing room, I had England captain and Scotland captain. Do you know what I mean? I had Terry Butcher and Richard Gough. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, you did what you're told, effectively. You know, I need to be quite honest with you. Yeah, and
you'd also got Paul Gascoigne.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was brilliant because I need to tell you, when you brought that conversation up to talk about the dressing room, first thing I saw him do was smile, right? And that tells me everything I need to know. Because if you ask me a question about my dressing room, I just look back and I smile.
Yeah.
And it was a happy place. It could be a cruel place. It had everything. It had absolutely everything. But you talk about leaders, and every dressing room will have leaders. I mean, as I say, Big Terry and Goffey, they just led by example, and were just, and they were I think they were born to be leaders. Are meant to be, brutally honest, fantastic.
in your one at Chelsea, did it all go through John Terry?
Yeah, JT was incredible as a captain, and you know what he was, and I think this is crucial in the game, as it evolved so quickly. He watched Dennis Wise, who watched the captain before him, and little things he picked up, like, say for instance when we used to leave the dressing room and there used to be like balls and things to sign. If one of the big lads didn't sign it, oh sorry, I got the lady who was there to get the thing signed would tell John. John would tell him, and he'd only have to tell him once. Yeah. And it'd all be done. I said, no, we're respectful here. We do it like this. All little things, like I could list thousands of them. Yeah. All them little things around the place that set the culture. There has to be a leader of that, and it's always the captain. And John was as good as anyone I worked with.
See, they're setting the example. That's what they're doing. Yeah. Setting the example.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting how leadership has changed from when we played to now. Because I think I was just on the cusp of the great leaders that kind of Ali talks about, that led from the front, shouting and yelling, in training, everybody's getting tackled. If you're not properly, you're getting tackled. So then the manager knows he's a bad egg, or he's not doing something right in the gym. Whereas then it kind of transitioned to, you think about, went from kind of the big vocal guys, one guy, to then like 2 or 3 or 4. You think about like Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger, good guys, humble, supportive of the whole group.
Would a German dressing room at Bayern be different to the Manchester United dressing room in the way that it was policed by the players and the way the leaders operated?
But I think it was
the same.
I think it was the same 10 years ago, whatever country you're in. It was one big guy, right? Hierro, Effenberg, Matthäus, whatever, one reference point. And then I think now it's kind of grown into the fact...
Leadership committees now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we need guys that are actually not... It's not just about them and their armband and they're talking and everybody's listening. It's like, we need 4 or 5 guys that are like, that also you can go to sometimes. And I think that's where it's just the evolution of leadership and captains.
Yeah.
I think it's better because
not every captain or leader is approachable to every player.
Exactly.
So the group understands, if I've got a problem, I can say it to him who has the relationship within that group. So you need 3 or 4 leaders, because now there is someone that the young lads will gravitate to, and he ain't going to be the oldest player in the team. He's going to be one that's got the same music or maybe kind of understands different things.
People watch the game and go, and they think, oh, that's what happens. What's more important is what happens every day at the training ground.
And Harry Redknapp is the manager. Like, what could go wrong?
Ali's the character in it. Ali.
Oh my God! I mean, I defy him to not smile when you mention Gascoigne's name.
You've all spoken about really positive dressing rooms, really positive environments. Have any of you experienced the negative side of that, where you're in a bad dressing room?
Yeah, that time at Aston Villa was tough. We were there. And I think we came and it was like, the results obviously, but it was, what I found difficult was some of the professionalism of it all. It's like, I really struggled with, we got to give 100% in everything, not just when we're outside training, because that isn't going to make a difference. It's not making a difference. And it was like, we need to get it right in here. In here needs to be an environment where we're not coming in and you're not coming in last minute and leaving first minute. It's like, no, we need to spend time together, because we're going to be asked to do something that we need we need each other, but when we just don't want to really be as a group.
People watch the game and go, and they think, oh, that's what happens. What's more important is what happens every day at the training ground, on the pitch, before, people in the gym, are people not, are people, doing ice baths, are people eating right? Yeah. At the top teams, when you've got great captains and leaders, they're kind of keep an eye on that. Down there, I don't think it's the same standards, is it?
No, not all the time. There is obviously exceptions, but there is. Of course, there is. Yeah, and that's the thing. But it's not getting the best out of the team. Yeah. And it's like, when everyone's doing the right things, whether they work or not, there's a tolerance for it.
There was a famous quote once from Jimmy Johnson. He was the Dallas Cowboys head coach, and when he took the job in Dallas, he sat all the team down and he said, I won't treat you all the same, because some of you are more important to me than others, and some of you won't be here to complete the journey because I won't need you. Does that exist in a football dressing room as well?
Just look at the last World Cup final, Argentina. Every one of that squad, apart from Messi, realised Messi was the man. I think watching it,
Yeah.
and there was an acceptance,
Yeah.
in my opinion, an understandable acceptance.
But do you think he says that? I don't think
No.
they have to say
No,
that.
I don't think he would
I
say
don't
it,
think
no.
that should be said.
He said it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And did they
famously
win?
said it.
And they won.
He won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. I don't think that works
There weren't many
today.
left by the end, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Like you was there, Ro, when Mancini said
Yeah.
Yaya had gone away. We was obviously
Africa
in the
Cup of
round
Nations,
table,
wasn't
and
it?
he'd gone away for the Africa Cup of Nations, and we lost to Everton, and he came in the dressing room and said, "You lot won't win a game without Yaya Toure." Whether he did it on purpose or not, we don't know, because it was a brilliant thing that he did. He erupted, because it was like.
That's before they won the league, is what you're saying. It was
the
that
league, the season we won the league. Like that was what he said in the January, February. It was like, wow.
He
like,
lit a match, didn't he?
Yeah, and he just made the comment and stepped away,
Walked
and it was
out.
like, go on, deal with it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, we're going to show you. But whether he meant to that reaction,
Of course he
but we knew we knew we fought it as well, though. Because
Yeah.
that was the thing. We was aware we fought
Cheers,
it.
boss.
But then you go and say it, it confirms it. It's like, nah, we're not having that. So that's what I'm saying. Whether it's the right thing, when it worked, so it was the right thing. But I don't know if that works today.
Tell me about the characters. Can you spin it around? The leaders are great, but I want to know about
No,
the
I want to
characters
hear
as
Ali
well.
talk about it. He's gonna.
Come on.
He's gonna.
Ali, he's the character, isn't he? Ali.
Oh my God! I mean, you talk about smiling when you mentioned dressing rooms. I defy MD not to smile when you mention Gascoigne's name. I mean, from start to finish, it was just non-stop. Absolutely non-stop. And he used to do, all these stupid schoolboy pranks and all that stuff. Honestly, he used to come in and see if he was going out after, if he was going to a meeting or something like that. You'd have to keep your eye on him, because after training he'd come in, and if he fired into the shower early, you knew there was trouble. Because if you went into the shower and you came out, he'd put your gear on, and he'd be away. He'd be away with either on his trousers or somebody else's shirt. You know what I mean? It's all that kind of stuff. And getting back to the dressing room thing, that just took the dressing room to another level. But when you're winning and everything, the garden's rosy,
And he was performing.
Oh, man,
So then
was he
it's
performing?
acceptable. he's thinking of him. I can't say that. I can't say that one. I can't share that. I can't share that.
And we used to get we didn't have a training ground. We jumped in a minibus and we used to go through the Clyde Tunnel and got to Jordan Hill to the training ground. Right? So we jump in and I'm out late and Archie's driving a minibus and David Ozzie's like, and Gascoigne's up the back of the minibus. And we're driving and Archie just coming into Clyde Tunnel. Archie looks at the mirror and that. And he shouts, "Who's that?" Right? So I turn round and there's an old guy up the back with a shopping trolley. Gascoigne's got him. He's out doing his shopping and he's walking by the minibus. And Gascoigne says to him, "Where are you going?" He says, "I'm going to shopping. I'm going to get a loaf and some bits and pieces." "Come on, jump on the bus. We're going training." So, half an hour later, this old fella, I swear to God, he's done goal-saving penalties. He's about 65, 70 years of age. Imagine him getting home. "Where have you been?" "Oh, I was in goals with the Rangers team." Just stuff like that, you know what I mean?
My impression getting into the first team at West Ham, you had Neil Ruddock, Ian Wright, John Moncur, Trevor Sinclair.
What a group.
In our youth team, Jimmy Bullard. It was just like, it was, and Harry Redknapp as the manager. Like, what could go wrong? Like, it was like, I have only fond memories, but it was just every day something was going on. People's cars being left down, taking the lads' cars, putting them on a roundabout, and they come back. Just stupid stuff. Fire
Wait, on a roundabout?
just leave it in the middle of a roundabout. and
That
had to lose it.
generation, I was caught the start of that,
See, this
or
is
the
what-
end of that generation. That was mad.
Quick one on the England dressing room, kind of back in your day. I think Steven Gerrard's quote was egotistical losers, too many in the dressing room. What's that dynamic like when you go in there and you've got superstars from every club?
I think all the boys respected each other. The thing is, I mean, you got to think, like, I know this England team's really good, but you had Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney, Michael Owen, Ferdinand, Terry, Ashley Cole, Scholes. Everybody was the best in their position in the world. I think the biggest problem we had was back then you played 4-4-2 and we tried to accommodate everyone. Thomas now, he's come in, he's gone, right, I'm just going to play the best team. But we had, okay, who are you going to drop? You couldn't have dropped Bex or Stevie or Frank or Mo or Watson.
And outside of that, I always felt like, as a nation, we didn't want the team to do well. You wanted the players that played for your team
Well,
to
that was
be
the
the
point
best
I was going to
player.
ask. Do those club rivalries seep in there.
I think they did then. I don't think they do now.
Right.
I think it's less now. Even the fact that we have players that play overseas. No one played overseas. You couldn't play overseas. You were like, man, my mum been playing for Real Madrid and didn't seem for England as regular as he should be because he's playing for Real Madrid. It's like that's not the norm now. Where now I think we want England to do well. Where again I'll speak. I don't think Chelsea fans wanted Gerrard to be man of the match. They want Lampard to be man of the match, and Liverpool rightly so for Liverpool fans. And I think Gareth Tex needs the biggest credit because I think that's what he did. He broke down all barriers and created an environment.
What was it like in yours, Celtic and Rangers?
The opposite.
Did you get on great?
Great.
Did you?
Yeah, because we never had, with great respect, we never had players, in all honesty, of that quality or having egos like that. Do you know what I mean? We were just old firm Rangers Celtic boys. And a lot of the English lads would come up and play as well. There was no... We weren't good enough to have that. We had to be a team. Us to have any success. And we qualify for the Euros on a regular basis, qualify for World Cups on a regular basis. So that's success for us, you know. And there was no... And the reason for it was because there was no egos. You came down at dinner.
Yeah.
You just sit with the Celtic boys, Rangers boys.
Yeah.
There was no...
We didn't have that. We didn't have that.
I know, but it wasn't as hostile as everybody makes
it
out.
definitely wasn't that.
We didn't win because we weren't the best team to win the tournament. There were better teams than us. We had the best players. I'd say. We had the best players.
Well, you
we were not a team.
in your individual groups.
I think he felt like that, but I never felt, because obviously when I first got into the squad, I was at Everton, so I wasn't a threat to anyone.
Yeah.
I was just
you
in
were
the
quite
squad.
neutral within it.
You were Switzerland at that point.
Yeah, I could just get into any group. It was fine, and then go to City. And then we've got 5 or 6 City lads.
Yeah.
So then you do gravitate to each other and you are sitting with each other. But back to the point that you were making, when you said that about Celtic Rangers, I'm thinking it must have been us as a group and us as a nation because Spain had just Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah. But our managers didn't want us being friends either, did they?
That's the thing.
Not
I think
really.
there were so many elements to it. Yeah.
Did they know it?
Not being friends.
There's no way Carragher and Neville could have been as close playing together.
Out when you played each other.
No, but if you think back to the tunnel, right, and you're in there with you playing Chelsea or Arsenal, whatever, you weren't hugging people before the game because you're managing your team and saying, "Man, what are you hugging him for?"
Oh, but I need to qualify that, right? See if we are playing, whoever we're playing, Italy on a Wednesday night, right? See if it's Rangers Celtic on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at them.
That's my point. Yeah.
We're not even looking at each other on the tunnel.
I think it's a cultural thing, but Owen's right.
It was a time thing.
Everyone wants to jump on that, the rivalries. That wasn't the reason. The reason was tactically we wasn't good enough. The manager didn't have the...
We were just rigid.
We great
rigid,
players,
wasn't it?
We tried to accommodate too many stars, didn't we?
Great players. And
in the wrong way. Because they definitely could have accommodated them.
We could have,
And by the way, the Brazil team that won the World Cup in 2002 was better than us.
They were better. Rivaldo, Ronaldo,
In 2006,
Cafu, Roberto Carlos.
Del Piero, Totti, Gattuso, Pirlo, Nesta.
Zizou was pretty good, wasn't he?
Zidane was, he could play a bit.
They had a chance.
Do you know what I mean? So we have to say that as well.
Fellas, we're out of time. I can feel part 2 coming on. Part 2, which will be focused mainly on Paul Gascoigne, I think, based on that little... Fellas, absolutely brilliant. Great insight. Really enjoyed that. Ali, Joleon, Joe, Owen, fantastic. Great insight into the football dressing room, how it works, the characters, the leaders, the managers, the cultures. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we're going to follow the Premier League to a climax, the European competitions, the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League. Thanks for watching. Stay with us all season on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus.